Hello there everybody and welcome into the Matt the Grape channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about a complete guide to horses in Minecraft. Hopefully you're going to hear some facts that you never heard before, and let's jump right on in. So let's start off by talking a little bit about how horses spawn. They're going to spawn in plains biomes like this one, as well as in savannas in groups of 2 to 6. And for every horse that spawns, there's going to be a 20% chance for that horse to be a baby. Now, horses are going to be able to have a whole bunch of different colors and textures. I'm going to go ahead and put this graphic up on the screen right now to help you kind of visualize them. There's 7 different colors, which are white, creamy, chestnut, brown, black, gray, and dark brown. We also have 5 different patterns, which are none, white, feet, and blaze, white field, white spots, and black dots. So what about the inventory and equipment that you can apply to a horse? So let's go ahead and jump on this horse that I've already tamed here. We'll talk about taming later. If I press E to open up his inventory, you'll see that all we have is my inventory down here, as well as a place for a saddle and a place for horse armor. You need a saddle on your horse to be able to ride him after you tame him. And horse armor will just decrease the amount of damage that your horse will take. So now let's talk about the size of horses. First thing is that a horse needs a 2 block or wider space to fit through. So as you can see, this is a 1 block wide space. If I try and go through, he can't make it, but if I go through a 2 block wide space, he can. Now clearance vertically, you're probably going to want at least 2.75 blocks. I just put 3 because it's easier. Of course, that 3 block clearance is with a rider. If it's without a rider, then you only need 2 blocks. Any lower clearance might cause suffocation. Now, how do you tame a horse? So there's some complicated mechanics here. First thing that you're going to need to understand is that there's something called temper, a value called temper. Whenever you first mount a horse, the temper number is going to start out at 0. And also whenever you first mount the horse, a random threshold between 0 and 99 is established, which must be reached for the horse to be tamed. Every time the player is thrown off of the horse because you don't have enough temper, the temper will be increased by 5, which of course gets you a little bit closer to that threshold that was randomly set. So if you do it enough, if you just jump on and get kicked off and jump on and get kicked off enough, eventually, because it's adding by 5 every time, you're going to hit the threshold and he will be tamed. So I have this horse here. Right now he is not tamed. So if I come over and I right click on him to ride him, you can see he just throws me off. So his temper was just increased by 5. And he'll basically just keep throwing you off until you get there. And just as an example, if I feed him some golden apples and then right click, there he goes, he's tamed. So speaking of food, here's a useful graphic that will help you understand this food mechanic better. So food will primarily heal the horse, and it can also reduce the growth time. Baby horses take 20 minutes to grow to their adult form. So if you feed them food, specific foods, that can decrease the amount of time you have to wait for them to grow. And it can also increase the temper levels so that you tame them faster. So this chart will show you all of the numbers for each food item. Note that the hay bale is a little bit different. It does not increase temper and cannot be fed to wild adult horses, but it does have a really big health increase. Now let's talk about something that I've always wanted to know and that I was really excited about whenever I had to research for this video. It's about the statistics of horses. So a horse will have 3 statistics: health, speed, and jump strength. So let's start off with health. There's a minimum of 15 health and a maximum of 30 health. A horse will not show the last half heart in the GUI or HUD. So as you can see here, this horse has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hearts or 16 health points, which is pretty low for a horse considering that the minimum is 15. Now let's talk about speed. The minimum speed for a horse is 4.74 blocks per second and the max is 14.57 blocks per second. Now for reference, a player moves 4.32 blocks per second for walking and 5.61 blocks per second for sprinting, so most horses are going to be faster than you walking or sprinting. And the last statistic is jump strength. The minimum is 0.4 and the maximum is 1.0. Of course, the average is going to be 0.7 right in the middle. 0.4, if you have a jump strength of 0.4, that means that he can jump under 2 blocks tall. And if you have a jump strength all the way up to 1, that means that your horse can jump over 5 blocks. Now, what about when a horse is bred with another horse? How does that affect your stats? The baby stats are going to be determined by averaging the total of both the parent stats with a third random set of values. So you would add both parent stats together with a random value in between, of course, the minimum and the maximum, and then divide by 3 to get you the average. And the last main topic is breeding. How do we breed horses? So you can breed horses using golden carrots or golden apples. If you have a horse and another horse, you're going to get a baby horse. Here's another graphic showing you the color percentages and the pattern percentages. According to this, there's a 44% chance for the baby horse to have the color of either parent and an 11% chance of a random color. And for patterns, it has a 40% chance to have the markings of either parent and a 20% chance of random markings. And if you have a horse and a donkey, so let me go ahead and get out my horse and my donkey. Let's go ahead and tame this horse. I can probably just use golden apples quickly. Why is he going away? And then we can do the same for the donkey. Now, something really important. If you want to be able to ride a donkey or mount a donkey, you have to use a spare hand, like nothing in your hand. For horses, you can use whatever. You can use fences or whatever. But for donkeys, you have to have a spare hand. All right, if we give our donkey a golden carrot, and I think I already gave my horse a golden carrot, and there we go. We now have a baby mule. And there we have our baby mule. So if I want to grow up this baby mule, I can probably just use something like golden apples until he grows up like that. Now, same thing for mules. If you want to ride him, you have to use blank hand. So if I open up his inventory here, I can go ahead and put a saddle on. And then because he's a mule, you can right click and put a chest on him so that whenever you open up your inventory, he has a total of 15 slots that you can add items to. By the way, other interesting facts about mules cannot breed. And of course, as you just saw, we can put chests on them to add storage to the inventory. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, the ultimate guide to horses in Minecraft. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, as well as check out Discord, Patreon, Twitter, and Reddit links in the description. Thank you once again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.